What's up guys, Case here, welcome to season 7? Are we on season 7? Flipping heck, that's not bad is it? We're back. I think at the time of watching this I'm not in the country, I'm not sure. I will still be checking comments and stuff on my phone, so feel free to continue anything you want to put down below. But it's the start of the new season. I've just spent about 4 hours doing this transfer window. It took me flipping ages. There was a bit of an overhaul at the club, but not to a crazy extent. We are left with some money by the end of it, some wage budget. I've done what I've needed to do within a limit. You guys should be proud of me. But we have a couple games today. We are playing 2 league games. We're going to play it against Rostov, our old team as well. So that should be quite exciting. So without any further ado, let's roll the intro. Right, so that the transfers aren't spoilt just yet. I will be starting off by doing it just kind of zoomed in over here. So, the outgoings went in this order. We sold Gooey Louie for £9 million. I thought that was a fantastic signing considering he's now, I know you can't see it, valued at 6.25 million. In fact, it'll put, wow, that's so handy. He's 30 years old now. He was on a lot more money. He was on 60k here. 9 million quid for him. I thought it's a fantastic deal. This guy, I think he's a bit of a nobody. He's just one of our... he's the right wing. Never really going to be playing for us in our system. We got rid of Mohamed El Neni basically for what we paid for him. We only paid 3.5. We've managed to get rid of him for 3.6, rising to 5.75 million. 67k he was on again for us. So it's not really something that's going to be missed. Like he was on a lot of money. Willian, the right mid, he's gone. Didn't really need him. We sold him for 4 million. I think he was valued at 4 million when we got rid of him, but he's 27 mil. We don't have right wingers in our system, and if we need one, we've kept hold of Leroy Sané in case it's important. Joseph Murillo, I decided he wasn't for us. I've made a few changes, some signings at the back, which you guys will see. He didn't play well for us. I'm going to quickly do this. As you can see, he only ended up playing 5 games for us and just didn't impress me. We turned a 5 million quid profit, so absolutely no complaints on our side. Just really didn't suit our system, and he was getting on a little bit now. He's 29, it just wasn't really for me, and we've got better players than him. What else have we got going on? Natsko went on a free. He was on, I think it was like 35k a week, and he wasn't going to get in the squad, and he complained about being homesick at the start of the season, so he was gone. We got rid of Socrates for 1.1 mil. He was on 100 and something k. I was trying to lower the wage budget so that we could splurge on some crazy players. And he's 33 years old, so we didn't need him. We have got rid of a few centre-backs, 3 in fact, so you'll see why in a minute. And then we have Aaron Samuel coming in, heading out. He was in the reserves, he was on loan last season. Really never going to be playing for our squad, nowhere near good enough, and 1.8 mil. So, who did we bring in to replace them? Well, I'm gonna go in order of each one, and this was the first one. The scouts returned this dude to me as a wonder kid. I paid 20 million with a couple like increases on it. I think there's something if we win the league, there's a clause like that. I don't know, can I see it in a contract? I'm not sure if I can. So that I don't spoil the future ones, but I've just gone and loaded up the clauses this way. 20% of the next transfer goes to him. If we reach the semi-final of the Europa League next season, which probably will happen hopefully, or at any point, they'll get 7.5 mil. And also, if after he reaches 50 league appearances, they'll get another 15 million and 50% of the profit. So in the end, if everything happens, we'll end up spending basically 42.5 million on him. I think he's an incredible player. He has got unreal potential. The board and everyone was telling me how insane he is. He's already valued at 29 million. He's only 20 years old. His physical stats are insane. Natural fitness is brilliant. His mental stats are brilliant. His technique's quite good, and then his actual defensive stats are fantastic. I think he'll be a key player, and he's the sort of player that we really need at this club. I said I wanted to buy big signings, and he will be unreal centre-back alongside our other centre-back, the Russian one that we had already. Next up was one of 2 free transfers. It was Sergio Ramos. We are paying him 1.2k a week, but it's only on a 1-year deal, and we had plenty of money to spend. He's granted not the slowest, not the quickest of players. He is 35 years old, but his mental stats are fantastic. fantastic. If we ever need him in a crucial game, you'd like to think he'd be amazing. And defensively, he is second to none. If we have to call on him, we'll play like a low line. Don't need to play a high line with him, and he can do a great job. Even over the last couple of seasons, even last year, in the games he played, he averaged a 7.1, and he got an 8.1 in the cup. So I think he is definitely someone that will be good for us. Next up is our new starting left back. This was another free transfer. I thought this one was unreal. We got him on a free. Granted, again, 47k. That's not bad a week. Current ability and potential ability is fantastic. I wanted a fullback that can play up and down this left-hand side. Someone that will support going forward where we're playing a wingerless formation. His crossing's 14. He is amazing. He has one stat that isn't double figures, and that's leadership. I don't want him to lead from left back. He's valued at 7 mil now. I think it was an unreal free transfer, and I'm all over that. Next up is Brahim Diaz on loan. I mean, he's a backup option that can play in midfield and attacking mid. Just only paying 17.5k a week. Not bad at all. This is our next big money signing. That is Christoph Schalander. He is going to be replacing Lucas Alario. If we do this, you'll see he's half a star better than Alario, with still one black star of potential ability to grow into. Did cost us a lot of money, 25 million, with another, I think it was like a 10 million clause if we won the league, which I'm happy to pay. I tried to do a bit of clauses this year, something I don't normally do, but his physical stats are flipping incredible. Every bit about them is just insane. He's media described as a wonder kid, which is exactly what we want in our team. And we are just focusing on signing fantastic young players. One of the board philosophies when we took over was that they wanted us to be signing young players that are capable of playing for the first team. Well, here you go. I've done that for you, and he looks flipping amazing. We'll just keep the screen up now because I didn't want to spoil any of those earlier ones, but you'll see we got Federico Molina on a free. I think this is quite an exciting one. Really good potential. I don't know why he was released. I don't know what happened, but he looks absolutely fantastic. Could be quite exciting. Ben Woodburn on loan. He's a striker. He's valued quite highly. Really good potential, and if we get into a situation where we need him, he'll be handy. Same with Alexander Isaac. If we're really in a bit of a crisis, we'll have him, and they're not on much money. And then this guy, Dave DeWitt. I don't know. I saw him. I thought he looked okay. Was transfer listed for 575k from Ajax. And he just looks decent. His finishing's very good. Good physical stats and really high potential. So maybe throughout the seasons he'll grow. Probably loan him out if I get an option to. And that is about that. There is just one other player. This Novikov guy is also Russian. So I thought, why not just try and buy a good Russian left winger that will hopefully grow. But that is the end of our transfer dealings. We're going to have a two-parter coming up in pre-season. Other than the loss to Sunderland, we had some away games and we were quite flipping good. Our team is looking exciting. Very, very good. I don't know what's happened to the thing that usually shows the stars. I also didn't really notice how tired Idrissa Guy is, so I'm actually going to play Pontus Wernbloom, which is what is going on up here. That is something I didn't plan on doing, was playing Pontus Wernbloom, but there we go. We're playing a back four. We've got Kuznetsov, the right back, who has got some fantastic potential, could be very, very good in the future. Myasnikov, who is, of course, our wonder kid Russian centre-back, 3 stars already with amazing potential to grow, 11.75 million already. Jordan Murray, hopefully will be fantastic at left-footed centre-back. Marcus Alonso, Wernbloom's coming in at defensive mid now. Djorkaev and Alenia still playing where they were. Tielemans behind the striker. And then Yuri Demin and Schalander are there. If we need to, we have options. We can bring on Isaac. We can bring on Alario. We can even bring on the young Russian striker. And that is about that. Let's get into our first game. I made one change in that we now play mixed rather than shorter passing, because I think to just create more, just to be have a little bit more impetus in our squad. We're playing against Amka, who I don't think are very good. They finished 7th. They're not horrific. Should be a good game, but we are enormous favourites to win it, and rightly so. We are also favourites to win the league, and I haven't checked our board expectations. Where is it? Competitions. We are expected to win the league and win the cup. So a little bit of pressure on us, but I think we can do it. I think we're plenty good enough. I think we have the best squad in the league, and I'd be quite disappointed if we didn't. But the fact we could be going straight into the Champions League next season shows kind of how far we've come already in this Journeyman. I know it's season 7, but the fact that we could be winning probably like a top 10. Where is it? It's the 6th biggest league on the game. I mean, really, that is the ultimate second tier league. Like, Portuguese league maybe is close, But compared to the top 5, this is like an ultimate one. This isn't the Eredivisie. This isn't the Turkish League. This isn't the Greek Super League. The Russian League is a big deal. And to bring CSKA Moscow back to their heights for the first time in a long time, that'd be quite a good thing. So that's our plan for this season. I think this might be a long episode, but it is the transfers. It is the intro. So what's going to happen? That being said, it's been a quiet first 25 minutes. So Yuri Tielemans is on the ball. It goes to Demin now. Marcus Alonso on the left-hand side. Back to Demin, to Djorkaeff, to Shalanda, to Wernbloom. Shalanda! Goal. 1-0 on his debut. That's what we like to see, isn't it, guys? That is absolutely lovely. A good little finish. I'm not sure who assisted it, but that's what we want. We've got an early goal. Djorkaeff to Shalanda. It was a 1-2 with Wernbloom, a fantastic bit of movement, and just a nice little dinked finesse into the bottom corner. That's what we wanted. We've signed him to score goals. He's doing better than Lucas Solario was. He is good. And there I think we saw a pure example of his player trait of knocking the ball past the opponent. But Alenya has whipped in a cross here from a corner, and Djorkaeff had his shot and he came off collar and has ended up in the back of the net. I'm not really sure. I feel like it's too much on the screen at the moment. But it went in. Djorkaeff volleyed it. It came off that guy. Quite unlucky for them. Fantastic start. This is what we wanted to do. We're playing against a team in 7th. So, that finished 7th last year. So, they're not a bad side. To get this start, brilliant. Very, very happy days. Also, Yuri Tielemans wanted to leave again. Man City and Real Madrid came in for him. I said to him and to them, you have to meet your release clause, which was 42 million. They didn't want to. They wanted to offer like 20 million, and I'm just sorry, but that's just not happening. I know we're not in the Champions League, but you've got to be offering a little bit more than that. But they've cracked the post there. I was kind of thinking about the future of the club and how we strengthen it, and it's quite an interesting one to think about because we have some really exciting young Russian players. This right back, I think, is more than capable to be our starting right back for a while to come now. Yuri Demin, you'd think, can be our starting striker, but then Myasnikov is actually 2. Yeah, he's going to go on to be something special. So that's 3 Russians, but Djorkaeff's going to be going soon. Akinfeyev's going soon. We need 5 Russians in the lineup at any time. So it's going to be interesting how we kind of transition into either Champions League or Europa League side that isn't too heavily reliant on those Russian players, but maybe can, I don't know. We have to cultivate what we've got. And if you look at this, it is exciting times to see Kotov, this potential, and then even other players we own. We don't own any of these one, but these 3 up here, 2 of them are Russians. Our top 3 potential players are all Russian. Molina, great potential. Bogdanov, good potential. This guy, there's a lot of good potential in the Russians. So we have got to see how we can cultivate it and what we can do with it. We're going to take Yuri Tielemans off and give Kotov a few minutes at the end of this game now, and we'll bring on Molina too for... I can't bring him on for... Oh, I can bring him on for Djorkaeff. Nice one. Okay, because we've bought on Kotov. And one more, we'll bring on another one that we own. We'll bring on this guy for Demin, just to see the game out now. And three youngsters getting 15 minutes in a game where really you'd think it's all wrapped up now. Happy days. Pontus Wernbloom's a little bit tired, but he'll cope, and I'm sure we can bring a random on. Alenya stayed on the pitch, so he's hit the crossbar, and Schellender's hit the crossbar too. Absolutely ridiculous way to end the game. That's 4 times we've hit the woodwork now in this match. 5 minutes left to go. Everyone is over 7 on their rating, and there isn't much more you can ask for. That is a fantastic start to the season. I want us to continue it now against Rostov, our old team, that, quite frankly, we did a great job with. I know they finished last season in 3rd place, and I believe that was heavily to do with us. If we look at the transfers this year, they spent 3.5 mil bringing in a Russian midfielder. Looks like an alright little player, a good signing for them. Other than that, they've not changed anything. Memeshaj, let him go. He was a legend for us. But yeah, not really any changes. And these are all players I bought in. If we look at from this view, Ibrahim Asai, he came in like we were involved in that. There's so many players in this team that we had a huge influence on. And other than the end of the loan. So it'll be interesting. It should be exciting to see how the game is. One of my positives is that all the fantastic loan players that we picked up for them, like Carlos Garitano and players like that, they're all gone. So hopefully it's an easy game. We play them next Sunday. I'm quickly loaning out Dave DeVitt. He was the one I told you that I've got. His potential looks flipping ridiculous. And yeah, he's just going to Camber. They look like an okay team. They're in the Eredivisie. They just got promoted. They could do with a good striker. They're currently, well, they apparently literally don't have one, this guy. So hopefully he should be starting every single game. And it be nice if he scores an absolute bag full of goals. And the can be recalled thing is ticked come January if he's playing like an absolute man possessed, and we need him back. So we play against Rostov tomorrow. I think it should be quite comfortable compared to last year. I'd be surprised if they even got top 5, especially with them having European football to play this season. But not only that, I think I'm going to have a look at some of the players that I managed to get on loan for them last season before I left. If we actually look, there's some ridiculous players. Now, if we go to loans, look at these. We had Carlos Garitano, who's valued at 2.5 mil, 15 finishing. Theo Hernandez, looks like he's going to get bought by Real Madrid in real life now. 1.5 million. Zhidkov, he was a Russian, a good one. This guy, Putilin, 2.5 million. This guy was a great striker. He was a striker, wasn't he? Oh no, he was a DM. This guy, decent winger, Simon Morgan. This Jota was a left back. Trent Alexander-Arnold was amazing for them. So I think a lot of these players will be missed this season, and I think a lot of them were really crucial to them last year. So I'm hoping that it's a nice, easy fixture for us going into today. And yeah, start off with 2 wins. That'll be a good start to the season, and I think it will kind of set us up for where we want to be. If we look now, a few teams have started with a double win, so it would be nice if we can do it. However, Yuri Tielemans is actually unavailable for this game. He is out injured, and I have a few options. I can play Carlos Alenya there. And that would mean I put in Molina in midfield. I don't know if I want to do that, though. I am considering playing Sane in the middle. That is one of the things, for some reason, I'm thinking as a trequartista could be interesting. But I'm not going to. I am actually going to give Kotov a start. And I don't really know why. It does actually mean we have an extra foreign spot should we decide to use it. In fact, we can bring in Idrissa Gueye back into the squad. But I don't know if I want to use the foreign spot. I don't know. I kind of want to give Ramos a game whilst we have the opportunity to do so. But I don't know if it's a good idea. Is there anywhere I can replace? I don't think there is. Do we give Alexander Isaac a start? Is this an interesting time to do it? I'm going to do that. Why not? Just ditch off the Russian bloke. We're enormous favourites to win the game again. Demin can play. He'll be playing 35 games this. Well, we literally only play 30 league games, but Demin will be playing in 90% of our games this season. So, in a time where we have an extra foreign spot, why not take advantage of it and give a different player, just make him a little bit happier, get a bit of morale up, and you never know, he might end up being absolutely fantastic, and we might want to be using him more often. Maybe I should have gone for someone who wasn't just on loan though, but who cares? We'll get over it. So this game, like I said, we are I think it was 6-1 or 10-1 favourites to win, 1-10 or 1-6 rather. So quite heavy favourites. We should be getting the win really. Given that we are at home, we're in fantastic form, we've spent a lot of money, and we are, us and Spartak, we're the 2 biggest sides in the division. Zenit St. Petersburg really haven't been that relevant for a while, but it is quite weird playing against Rostov, considering I bought all of these players. Like, it is an unusual one. Kennedy's playing, Roush, I remember I bought him just because I needed a good left winger. We got Ibrahim Asai on a free, I think, right? Josh Grant was an exciting youngster. But I don't know. I kind of want to batter them because I kind of left a little bit sour, if I'm honest with you. By the time I was done with Rostov, I don't know. I was a little bit annoyed with them. I'm not sure why, but hopefully we don't concede on this attack here. It would be pretty annoying that they haven't had a proper chance yet and they'd score, but that would sum us up. Alenya plays a long ball to Isaac though. It's been a very, very long highlight, but Isaac is using that pace and that dribbling that he's got, and he cuts inside here and he has blazed it over the bar. I feel like that happens a lot where players make that run, and I rarely see them score their attempt afterwards. But they've whipped in a cross here, a corner. It's gone to Sivakov, but it's been cut out by Idrissa Gueye. That's our next signing for next year, is a defensive midfielder. I'm not sure who. I was going for this Portuguese guy, but I went for our striker Shelander instead. I thought I'd rather spend 20 million on a world-class striker than 20 million on a world-class DM, because Idrissa Gueye, he's contributed, but a striker is just a different world. But Shelander has the ball now. Talk of the devil. He plays it into Isaac, and that is 1-0. He has repaid the faith. Both players that have started debuts up front for us this season, Isaac and Shelander, they've got themselves some goals, haven't they? That's exactly what we wanted. Can't complain. I probably should have put on my studio light. I've just realised the studio light isn't on, and my webcam was still set up from the green screen. so I probably look really bizarre. Let me turn that off. I'll look a little bit less weird now. It got quite dark quite quickly, so my studio light isn't on. I hope you guys can forgive me, but 1-0 at half time. I'm happy with that. Isaac was having a bad game, but he turned it around with his goal, and there's not a lot you can ask, really. That's fine by me. We've played well. We've dominated possession. I am going to do this, though. I'm going to put on shorter passing now. We've got the lead, which means I'm more eager for us to retain possession, which is something that, if you guys remember last season, towards the back end of it, at home, we'd have 60% possession, but we wouldn't turn it into goals. Now, I think our system should be mixed passing until we go 1-0 up, and then just play short, easy passing, keep the ball. I don't want to retain possession on, but just keep hold of the ball and don't do anything too silly. So before the head-to-head comes in, Angie are slightly above us with an extra goal and goal difference, but they've whipped in a cross here. It's fallen to Kennedy, and the man that did so much for us has come back to bite us, and it's a little bit annoying, isn't it? He never scored corners for us, did he? They whip in the cross here. A great header by Sivakov, and Kennedy just has to head it on. I'm not sure what Kuznetsov was doing on the line, but it could have been a little bit better than that, that's for sure. That's a little bit disappointing. There's half hour to go. We are still dominating, but I think it's time to make some changes. I'm gonna put it back to mixed. We're going to keep it on control, but I do want to change it up. What do I want to do? Okay, I'm going to start off by bringing on Demin, and then we're going to do a bit of an unusual one here. We're going to maintain a bit of something in the midfield, but we're also going to make some... I'm going to put Djorkaev as a ball-winning midfielder. We're going to actually bring on some of our winger options. We're going to bring on Sane, and Vitinho can come on too, because he's a good player, and games like this, I want to see him involved. So, triple change right there. We have left ourselves a little bit open at the back, and it could be a problem. We haven't really got as much in midfield as we'd like, but we do now have plenty of options coming forward. Vitinho plays it to Alenya. Shetlander hits the post, and he couldn't follow it up. That should have been our goal, really. That should have been our winner, but it wasn't to be. It's not a bad Rostov side that we're playing against. We can't forget that. I was going to go attacking them, but in reality, I don't think a draw is the end of the world, and I think a loss would have been too negative, but it's not over yet. 6 minutes left on the clock. Demin comes forward. He is dispossessed by Alessandrini. That is one of the hardest kicks I've ever seen. The ball is finally calmed down by Kennedy. It's at Romanov now. They play it to Kuznetsov, but I think this is our chance to go forward. Alenya is on the ball. He plays it to Shetlander. Cross it in now. He goes for a shot. It ends up at Demin at the back post, and he heads it off the bar. How we didn't turn that into a goal, I do not know. Marcos Alonso whips in the corner for what I'm sure is the final whistle, and it is a 1-0 win. It's another one of those performances where really it's hard to believe that we didn't score another. Once again, we had almost 4 times as many chances as them, but didn't do what we needed to do. The Real San Sebastian boss is there. We don't care about the Real Sociedad boss. Kuznetsov, you're not having him. I've told you that a few times. That just is a little bit heartbreaking that we are beaten on the counter. Does that mean maybe we need another goalkeeper? That's the important question. I don't know. It's hard because it's a Russian position. So I don't know. It's hard to replace the Russians. There is one fantastic wonder kid Russian goalkeeper out there, but they want 110 million for him. So maybe he's one for another game. But that, boys, brings us to the end of this episode. Actually, I hope you did enjoy it. When will we be back? I want to get through this season quite quickly. So I'm actually going to go through all of these games, and I think we'll play a double header of the Cup and the game against Zenit St. Petersburg, because this is the season without European football. We don't want to make this like an 8-episode season. We want to get through it quite quickly. So smash that like button if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you all next time. Bye, guys.